Hello there, my name is Oliver Hill, and this is my portfolio of video games that I've worked on in the past, and the projects that I'm currently working on. Feel free to skip around using the timestamps, some of it might get a bit boring, but either way, hope you enjoy. This game is a result of me in 2019 starting 6th form and wanting a game that was presentable and was actually fun, at least compared to the old games that I made. So I made this with Greenfoot, which is scripted with Java, and it's a nice simple tool for making simple 2D games. So you can see here is the player's fighter aircraft, spacecraft, zooming around with this afterburning engine. Not very realistic, I know, but hey, it looks cool. Now a fighter's went onto my 6. Gotta try and shake him off, dodge a few shots. The only way I can get him off is by getting him to ram into the enemy bomber. Only way I can explain that is that he's got quite a narrow viewpoint, so you can't see out to his side, so it's quite a chance of a crash. So I'm just going to skip ahead 10 seconds now, and this is going to get to a boss fight. We're going to be shot at by quite a lot of lasers. So you've got to try and avoid them. An enemy fighter's going to come along. Now to get rid of them, you've got to trick the gunship into shooting them, which is quite easy. But then you've also got to avoid shots yourself. Now you see in the top left of the screen, it's got a marker which represents your shields and health. It's sort of taken from the 1993 DOS game, X-Wing. The outer ring represents your shields, and the inner bit represents your hull strength. When it's red, it's bad, and when your hull's gone, you're dead. There's around 10 seconds left of the boss fight, so I just skip it around here. Gotta stay out of time, and get to see quite nice death animation, in my opinion. Again, I just made this all with frame by frame with MS Paint. It's probably a far more efficient solution. But either way, this is going to start sort of other level now, where you swap round the other way. With your sort of quite nice animation, the stars going the opposite way and you shoot the opposite way. But I decided to stop here and move on to porting it to Unity, which unfortunately was not really that successful. However, this was always just a prototype, and from the start I intended to port this to Unity when I was finished with it. Unfortunately, that didn't go too well due to my lack of experience with Unity and C#. Regardless, I wanted to give porting it to 3D a try. The thought of having to model everything with Blender, which I had no experience with, was daunting to say the least. Nevertheless, I now have a project that I'm quite proud of personally. I've now given it a name, or that can be used as an acronym later. Got a sort of title image, nice title screen in my opinion, and yeah, I've stuck on some music from Deus Ex, because I like it, don't have any other music, and I think that music is really important for games. So here I am, starting up the game. And just about very soon, I'm just going to be showing how the ship controls with and without the use of the stabilizer and trimming. You can see them in sort of in the top right, indicating whether they're on and off. Just rolling around a bit. Soon, I'm going to be looking to go after some enemy targets. Most of them are these yellow rectangles that I made just as Unity objects. They're very easy to hit, and yeah, I made a lot of them. So they're the most numerous enemy, but then I also made sensor probes, which I modelled in Unity. They're going to be more of a standard enemy, at least for this first level. Once I get more to work with it, I cook off a missile there. Has a quite annoying lock tone, but I think it's supposed to replicate the American AIM-9 Sidewinder lock tone, which sort of makes a sort of electronic growl. And you can see here I sort of use some reverse thrust, and I just have a crash. So you can see at the bottom of the screen, the marker, I just took some shield damage and then that shield damage regenerated. The rectangle is now flying away, and I'm going to have a little bit of a dogfight. If you look at the scopes, you can sort of see the icon that I'm targeting dancing around a bit, and that's what I'm using to track it. These scopes are taken from the 1993 game X-Wing, which I mentioned before. It's just a very useful way, in my opinion, to track your enemies, and yeah. So far, all of the HUD is basically very much heads-up display. It would be as if it's sort of a hologram in a pilot's helmet. I plan to make a fully modelled cockpit at some point, but that just requires a lot more modelling. It's in the name. You may notice the shoddy cubic skybox, which I made quite hurriedly, just grabbed some pictures of space off the internet. Some bits look reasonable, but at the borders, as you can see, it doesn't look very nice. Now, I've just had a little bit of a crash. As you can see, the HUD flickers on and off. This represents the damage that's happened to the ship's computers, and in my opinion it increases the tension and difficulty as you get more damage. So now I'm going to boot up the game again and go after the transports with some quite nice manoeuvres. So going for the first one with guns, you can see this sort of leading algorithm. It shows the mark goes red when I have a good shot. I turn around with an ill man turn, go for the next one with a missile, fire it off, and then I turn off trimming, go ahead of him, turn around, and blast him to bits, while still heading forwards. Now this manoeuvre is completely unique to this game, because pretty much no other game has a really semi-realistic simulation of space. The practicality of this manoeuvre is that I'm able to get out in front of the transport, where I can hit the cockpit and it has less defensive armament. I've made other games in the past, but these two that I just talked about are the ones that I'm proudest of, and they definitely look the best. Back when I started secondary school, when I was 11 to be specific, I got into Scratch, which is a basic sort of block-based game creation service, and I'm way out of that now. And then 2016, when I was starting computer science GCSE, I made this cringy Python text adventure, but cringy is the key word here. And then in 2019, when I was ending computer science GCSE, I made a platformer with Greenfoot centered around a group of Welsh terrorists named Mudiad Amdiffyn Cymru, whose only achievement was to accidentally blow themselves up. Well, in the game, purposely blowing yourself up is quite a key mechanic. And then, when I started 6th form, I also made, when I was learning Visual Basic, some Star Wars prequel quote quizzes. Yeah, I'm into the prequels. They're pretty great films in my opinion. You should definitely check out r/prequel memes if you, by any chance, share my opinion. Anyway, I've taken away enough of your time for now, if you really have indeed to watch the whole video. But if you would, for some reason, be interested in any of the other projects, I have got full-length videos on all of them. And thank you for watching, and farewell.